My name is Brianna Whiteside, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about losing control for the control freak. My God, if you're anything like me, you know that is a dreaded thing. To lose control, to realize that you don't have it all together. That's tough. It's a tough reality for anybody, but especially for the people who like control like me. But let me tell you something. God has really been challenging me in this area, like showing me, Brianna, you really don't have as much under control as you think you do. You really don't know what you want, right? You really don't know who I am and how big I am. And so what's very funny is that, I've been in a season of losing control. And at moments I would have it all together. I would be like, okay, good. I don't have to have control of it. Whew. And then the next moment, I'll pick it back up. And so it's so very interesting the ways in which, I try to navigate that space. But let me tell you something. To lose control, it's about trust, but it's also about growth. It's about growing into a new knowledge of who you are. It is about understanding that God has you no matter how you may feel. It is about trusting His word, and you can't trust His word if you don't know His word. And that has been the biggest lesson that I've learned. I want to let you know that for 3 months, God demanded an area from me that He's never demanded from me. Now, in the past, He's been demanding my relationships. Will you trust me? Give me this. Do you trust me to bring your mate? Do you do all this, all of that? Anything related to loving another person intimately, God has been challenging me on. And so it took me about 8 years to learn that test. I mean, to pass that test. It took me 8 years. And it also took me another year of isolation that I chose, not to date anybody for an entire year, to actually be purged of my will, right? And so I passed that test and I was like, great, I've made it. I've made it to the finish line. I've made it out. And then this summer, God's like, and now I want your finances. And I was like, not mama's baby. You cannot be demanding my finances in this area, God. Like, you cannot do this to me because, my finances is what I've had under control. I've always been able to provide for myself. I've always been able to, do what I wanted to do. But now you're telling me that you want my finances? So I gave my finances this summer. I did not, I learned my lesson in that 8 years of, not trusting Him with my relationship. And so I said, okay, if I'm going to have to go through this test, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it now. And so for 3 months, I didn't know how I was going to survive. I didn't know how my bills were going to get paid. I didn't know how I was going to eat. I didn't know anything because He told me not to get a full-time job. And so the way that my financial situation is set up, I get paid through the university because I'm a teacher as well as a PhD student. So I get paid. And so in April, they cut off my funding because I'm not teaching. And so generally, you have to find a summer job to supplement that income. But God was like, no, that's not what I want you to do. And let me tell you that I struggled the whole summer. I really feel like the enemy had a full field day with me because I was struggling. I was like, how worrying. And worry didn't add a dollar to my pocket. Worry didn't help me in any way, but it did cause me some emotional turmoil. It did cause me some restless nights. It did cause me to, try to fight inwardly. Like, I wasted so much time, almost 90 days, trying to figure out how something was going to work out. And when God told me not to work, He said His word would not return to Him void. But I never had that experience with Him in money, my livelihood. I never felt that. So, let me tell you that He delivered on His promise. I didn't want for anything. Now, I didn't have everything that I wanted, but I had everything that I needed. I had everything, all of my basic necessities met, and God did it as an honor of my obedience to Him. And so, in obedience and losing control, you have to trust God. And it's easier said than done. Trust me, I just told you that I went 3 months without a full time job, without being able to, you um, know how my bills are going to be paid. But God delivered because He's faithful. And now I have a completely different point of reference with Him. I have a completely different understanding of how big He is, how wide He is, how much I really just don't know about Him. And I want to encourage you with that. I want to let you know that losing control can be the best thing for you. It can free you up of so much mental space, so much emotional battles. It can be a beautiful thing if you trust it. And so I just want you to know that rest in God's promise. If He's telling you to give Him control, give it to Him. It's not worth the struggle. It's not worth your lack of understanding. It's not worth your peace. So I hope that helps you. I am so excited that I passed this test because I was struggling with it, but I passed. So hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.